Hey guys, I want to do this quick video. I hope that it doesn't go long. When I was younger and I had just graduated from high school, um, a story that happened to me. So when I was after we graduated, me and some friends of mine, D and Carlos and Conrad, we decided we were gonna go and celebrate. And our excuse to celebrate was to go to Mexico. I was brought up down by the border of Mexico, the Rio Grande Valley, and we went to Mexico quite a bit. It wasn't like it is today. It wasn't as dangerous back then. What I mean by as far as the cartels and killings and stuff like that, it wasn't that dangerous. Not nearly. Today I wouldn't do this, but back then it was pretty safe. So we went. We decided we were going to go to Mexico. We talked to my sister at the time. I was staying with my sister, going to college in Edinburgh, Texas, and so I got with my friends and I told my sister, "Hey, can you drop us off at the Whataburger that's right across from Reynosa, from the border, and we'll just walk from there. We'll meet you back here at this Whataburger right around 2 in the morning." We got drunk like skunk. Of course, guys, got to remember, this is before BC, before Christ, before I knew Christ, and I made a lot of stupid decisions, before salvation, that is. So we went, we had a great time. We come across, and I was drunk like crazy, and I'm trying to, I had to use the restroom really bad. We lost our friend Carlos. We lost Conrad. I don't know if Conrad was with us or not. He typically wouldn't go with us because he was the good guy, or his parents were very strict. As we're walking across into the American side from Mexico, I looked to the right, and I just remember, I don't know if this was God. I'm not going to get spiritual because I definitely was not saved or anything. But I remember looking to the right, and I saw this cop, and I looked at the cop, and he looked right eye to eye to me, and then from then it's like he was watching. I feel like he was really just watching us. Of course, we were young and dumb, and here we are walking across, and I had to use the restroom really bad. So I told D, I said, "Man, I can't wait till we get to the Whataburger, bro." He said, "Just wait till we get to the Whataburger. Your sister's going to be right there. She's probably there waiting for us right now." It was already like 2 o'clock, 2-ish, maybe 2:15 in the morning. And I had to go bad. So I'm like, I'm about to burst in my pants. And D's like, "Dude, don't do it." And I walked around the corner. I went to the back of this dumpster, and I started using the restroom. Well, right when I walked, I barely unzipped, and the cop, boop, I could hear the cop, coming around the corner in the back. So, the cop, he's like, "Sir, put your hands up." Me, I'm drunk, so I was like, you know what? D looks at me and goes, "Bro, you need to hurry. Cut it short." And I'm like, I don't care. In my mind, I'm thinking, I already started. The guy's already going to catch me. I don't care. Let me just relieve myself and be done with this. Ain't nobody out here. We're way in the back. No, nobody's watching. I was not exposing myself to anybody. I was behind, hidden. That's typically how I've always been. So I wasn't, no one was watching me. The cop had to have been watching the whole time. Anyways, I'm not here to, I was wrong. Okay, so I was wrong. So, and I knew it, and I wasn't going to lie or nothing. So I was like, what? He already caught me. I'm also just, I'm not perfect, but I was honest with him. I said, "Look, I'm drunk, and I had to use the restroom. I had to go bad, real bad." And the guy saw me, and I knew he saw me. I'm not stupid. So I was like, the guy said, "Look, man, you're under arrest. Public intoxication." He takes us in, puts us in the jail. And the reason why I'm telling the story is I kind of want to educate you guys a little bit, but hear me out. So he takes us in the jail cell. He gives us each one of us had one call to make. First, he tells me, puts us on the speakerphone. There's a lot of drunks, a lot of older borracho guys. They just drunk. They're all in the cell, and there's like maybe 10 guys to one bench. We're all, it's not a nice little county jail. We're in the Hidalgo County jail. I'd never been in jail, period. So I was scared to death. But at the same time, I was drunk, so it's kind of numb. So I get one phone call, and I call my dad, and my dad at the time. I called my mom. I was trying to talk to my mom. My dad answers the phone. It's probably like 93 in the morning now. And I said, Dad, can I talk to Mom? And I didn't want to talk to him because I knew he was going to hang up on me. He goes, where are you at? It's 3 in the morning. Why are you calling us at 3 in the morning? And I was like, Dad, can I just talk to Mom? I really need Mom right now. And he's like, he goes, where you at? Why are you calling us at 3 in the morning? My dad ain't stupid. I said, Dad, I'm drunk. They caught me for public intoxication. I'm over here in the Hidalgo County Jail. And he's like, what? Oh, hell no. You ain't talking to your mom. Stay there. Hangs up. I was like, oh my gosh. So here I am. He hangs up. Everyone's laughing in the jail cell. All these borracho older guys. They're, le dije que stay there. No, hombre, tu papá está bueno. And they're just making they're just cracking jokes, man. They're laughing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I'm embarrassed. But at the same time, not really embarrassed. I'm just, because I'm numb to this. I was really just hurt that my dad did that. And I really needed their help for them to bail me out of jail, right? But here I'm that's what I was thinking at the moment. So D calls, he ends up getting, he said, dude, I can't call my grandma, man. Because his grandma's the one who raised him. He goes, I can't call her. She'll have a heart attack, man. Ain't no way I'm calling my grandma. And I can't call my sister. So, bro, what do? I said, call my sister. Call my sister, call her number. Here's her number. And leave her a message. So he did. And I guess she heard the message. I don't know. I don't remember if she heard the message or not. But she ends up coming the next morning and bailing us out. Well, we had to stay that night in jail, but it wasn't that bad. But for me, it was really scary because I'd never got in trouble. You guys got to know. I went to Med High. It's called Medical High School. We called it Med High at the time. I went to a good school. I got good grades, A's and B's. I was doing really good. I'm not perfect. One thing is, I made mistakes. So I was scared, man. Anyways, my sister picks me up the next morning. I was so thankful. She bailed us both out. I went to my dad. My dad said, I am, man. I'm not going to bail you out. You need to learn from this. And I'm not, so my mom tells me I was scared because I was like, like maybe a month or 2 months before that, I had just talked to the recruiter, me and my friend Roy. We had talked to the recruiter, the Air Force recruiter, and we were going to go in the Air Force. Well, I knew that if I had this on my record, there's no way they're going to let me in. Or at least that's what I thought. So I told my mom about it. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. And I said, Mom, I messed up. She goes, the best thing you can do, my mom had really good wisdom. My mom says, you know what? I think you should talk to the judge and ask him if you can get community service. And ask him, if you can take it off your record. Just ask the judge that. So I was scared, and I really, here I am about 18, 19, I can't remember how old I was. And I didn't have the courage to talk to adults and stuff. I ended up going to court. There's about, 60, 100 of us in line. The judge is just popping. I feel like we're at the chopping block, She's just like, she's calling each person, telling them guilty or not guilty. Like, you want to plead guilty or not? And most of them are pleading guilty or not guilty, and then they get a lawyer or whatever. Very few of them got lawyers. Most people were just pleading guilty, pay the fine, whatever. Or go to probation, get. And then she gets to me and she tells me, hey, you got public intoxication, guilty or not guilty? And I said, guilty. And she slams the hammer, says, okay, go. I walk out the door and I'm like, man, I didn't get a chance to tell her. And in an instant, I was like, dude, you need to go talk to her. And I don't know, I can't say this was God or not, but I feel like God's always had his hand on me. So I really feel like the Lord was telling me, you need to go back in there and ask her to help you. And if she can, please. So I went in there and I went up I said, ma'am, excuse me. She was about to get the next person. I said, I just really need to talk to you. She goes, yes, son. And I said, I am guilty. I messed up, ma'am. And I went up she goes, come here. And I kind of whispered to her. I said, look, I just enlisted in the Air Force and I really want to go. I can't go if this is on my record. Can you please give me community service? And then this would come off my record or somehow get it off my record. I don't do any, this is the only thing I've ever gotten done, ma'am. And she's like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you community service. You have, I don't know, it was like 180 hours of community service. And then it'll come off your record after you're done with your community, provided you don't do anything wrong within this time frame after you've, So I said, okay, I appreciate it, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I tell you guys this because, I'm not perfect, but I tell you these are the things that I've gone through. So, and it wasn't just there. I'm going to show you something. So I did community service. I call it the soup kitchen. I don't know what it was called. It was there in Harlingen. And it was downtown area, near the downtown, and they would literally serve food to the elderly and the handicapped. And so I went there and I did 160 hours. I did whatever they tell me to do. I learned a lot doing community service. It humbled me. It made me see that, doing something for other people, you can be a blessing and you'll be a better person. It builds character. I know people say that all the time, but it really did build character in me. It showed me that, people are people and we all make mistakes. But if you're willing to be honest and own up to your mistakes, God, in his infinite, awesome grace and mercy can forgive you and help you. And I feel like God gave me a second chance. That never went on my record, just so you guys know. I did do the community service. I did all the hours. I didn't get in trouble after that. It taught me a lesson too. Not to be stupid and go get drunk like that ever again. Am I going to say that I never got drunk like that ever again? I did, but I just was more, I used just a little bit more wisdom than going to Mexico, coming back and peeing out in the middle of public, whatever. I didn't do stuff like that anymore. I didn't go out. So lessons learned. I tell you this story because it's, it started off wrong, but I feel like God turned this into a good thing. And I was allowed to go in the Air Force. Thank God, because I really enjoyed the Air Force. Did 20 years of service. And I feel like God really had grace on me and had mercy. And I really appreciate him. I don't boast about like me getting away with stuff. And it's not about that. It's just really just, my heart is just here. Now that I'm older, I just see things that God did. And I'm really appreciative of what he's done. And I try to help other people when I'm out in the streets and I'm praying for people. I get a lot of gang members, a lot of people who got off of drugs, a lot of people who got in a bad situation, made bad decisions, heat of the moment, have anger problems, don't have parents, never were raised good, never were raised right, never were loved. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm better than you or nothing. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, the Lord puts it on my heart, go love on people. He always brings me this story, and he always shows me, I had grace on you, Carlos. I had mercy on you. I gave you a second chance. Why don't you go show that love to other people? Why don't you go show that second chance to these people? Even if go bring hope. And so I just pray that, that whatever my story was, that it ministered to you. That I think the biggest thing is, getting involved in the community, giving back your time. I learned this way, the Air Force taught us to do these things. And I learned them as a good thing. The Air Force was good. And they tell you, hey, go volunteer, and a lot of people do that. But I think the biggest thing they don't teach is, and it's really to build your EPR, your performance report, so you can put a bullet and say, yeah, I did 150 hours of community service at the soup kitchen, and it shows like, hey, he's an all-around good person, he's trying to be involved in the community and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing for me, it wasn't about that. Yeah, I'd still put that on my performance report, but this stuff started before I came in the Air Force. As you can see, I did 180 hours of community service. I mowed their yard. I weeded it. I folded clothes. I took all this, they had clothes out there. They had stacks and stacks of jeans and all kinds of old, mothball smelling uniforms and just stuff. Whatever they had, I just did it. Swept, mop, whatever. Kept the kitchen clean, and I'm really thankful for God because, it gave me the opportunity to do that and learn from those things. And so I just tell you guys this. So if you're in a situation where you feel like, you know, you have to do something, like someone, like the law told you have to go do this community service. Don't take it as a hindrance, as a, yeah, man, I don't like this. Don't start complaining. Look at it as an opportunity, and God will change your situation. He'll turn that curse into a blessing. But you got to humble yourself. You got to, you know, say, Lord, what are you trying to teach me in this situation? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? And I just pray that this would minister to you guys. Be blessed. Love you guys.